All right, time now for the Honda Road Ahead, brought to you by Chicagoland Northwest Indiana Honda dealers. Here with Mark Strotman, I'm Chuck Garfien, talking Bulls here, and they're 4-4. They've looked good, they've looked bad, they've looked everything in between. Where are you at right now with this Bulls team and what they need to do?
Yeah, it seems like there's been some good and some bad, which is sort of always the case with a team that's 500 through 4 games. Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade certainly looked the part. They look like they're getting along. There was some worries about whether that chemistry would be able to show its face early enough, but it certainly has. Also some bad. Rajon Rondo hasn't been exactly what we saw last year in Sacramento in terms of passing the ball, and his defense has been susceptible at times. But overall, they're a 500 team. They are what they are right now. I don't think they're as good as that 3-0 stretch showed, and I also don't think they're as bad as the 1-4 stretch showed. And they've got a couple big ones coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Rondo's defense, this whole team's defense. You can't give up 68 points in one half to the Hawks like they did. So they got to improve defensively for sure. And you mentioned also coming up with some tough games. They got this long road trip. I know Wade has been talking about we got to find a way to play together. I think this circus trip that's coming up later this month, it's next week, I believe, they got to find a way to play with each other, and they're going to be tested on this road trip more than anything, I think, right now.
Yeah, they start with Portland, Utah, and the Clippers. I mean, it's not spread out with some bad teams mixed in there. They're going to get their toughest part of that road trip, maybe the toughest part of any road trip they face all year, right at the beginning. And it's always kind of interesting because you talk to the guys before they go out on these long road trips, and you don't think of these professional adults saying that they can kind of mesh and gain chemistry on these trips, but they are together for so long, for such a long stretch of time, that they really say off the floor they gain some of that chemistry too. So it'll be interesting to see when they come back to Chicago eventually, despite what the record shows, if they really have improved on that chemistry.
I think this team likes each other. I think the players like each other. That wasn't so much the case. It was kind of a splintered locker room last year, but I think that's something to look forward to with this team. And do you feel like this is a team that can finish the season over 500?
It's probably too early to say that, but they're definitely better than I expected them to be. And a lot of that was the unknown with so many new faces and so many young players coming out of the team. And then Michael Carter-Williams goes down, so now the backup point guard position. So a lot of it's going to depend on health. It's the Bulls. That seems to be the case every year. But I like where they're headed, and Wade certainly looks like he's the same old player. There were question marks about whether he had gone or he was over the hill or not. Jimmy Butler keeps getting better. I feel like we say that every year. We're probably going to say that for the next few years too. So I like where they are right now. Fred Hoiberg seems a little bit more comfortable than he was last year. So certainly a good start for the Bulls considering expectations heading into the year, and we'll probably know a lot more about them in the next few weeks.
All right, for Mark Strotman, I'm Chuck Garfien. Thanks for watching.